Good evening and welcome back to Falcon Update live on YBTV. I'm PJ Rydell.
And I'm Nolan Hogenboom. Let's see what's happening here at Messiah.
It's only week 3 of the semester, and the university has already witnessed a dramatic spike in COVID-19 cases. 132 positive cases among students and 24 among the staff, totaling over 156 cases. As cases rise, let's go to Reed Milliken to see how the Messiah community can stay safe and avoid COVID-19 this semester.
We are once again in the height of COVID, and it's up to us, the student body, to keep it at a minimum on campus.
Over Martin Luther King weekend, student cases doubled from 54 to 108 in the course of 3 days. Over the past week, cases continue to steadily increase. While a fair amount of precautions are being taken, some students feel there's not enough.
We didn't require negative COVID tests for coming back to campus. Yes, it's hard to get tests, but it should have been done anyways.
But there are plenty of opportunities for students to stop the spread. There will be a vaccination clinic at the Angle Center this Thursday, January 27th, from 9 a.m. to noon and 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. If you are interested in getting your initial dose, or even your booster, log on to the Student Health portal and click on the My Forms tab, then click on the COVID vaccination scheduling form. Being both vaccinated and boosted is your best protection against COVID.
Another key step to preventing COVID is wearing masks while indoors. The university recommends you wear KN95 masks, of which you can find deposits of in places like the Angle Center or right here in Fry.
That's very helpful for individuals who need masks or they wind up misplacing theirs or forgetting it at home.
Stay safe out there, Messiah. For YBTV, I'm Reed Milliken.
Thank you, Reed. Tune in next week for a closer look at quarantining and what it means to be a close contact. For now, let's see what happened on campus this past week. This past Tuesday, Murray Library held the dedication and ribbon-cutting ceremony for their new Bridge to Freedom book collection. Donated by Dr. Todd Allen and his family, the book collection focuses on African-American history and the Civil Rights Movement. After a speech by President Kim Phipps and Dr. Allen himself, the ribbon was cut and the room was officially declared open.
Messiah celebrated Martin Luther King Jr. all throughout last week. On Wednesday, Lottie offered a special tribute lunch for Dr. King. They served MLK's favorites, including Southern fried catfish, Memphis barbecue ribs, macaroni and cheese, kickin' collard greens, buttermilk biscuits, and peach cobbler. Plenty of students came out to enjoy this special meal.
Tuesday through Friday of last week, virtual reality stations were set up for students in Hostetler, showcasing the I Am a Man VR experience. Participants were able to sign up and go through a 20-minute tour of the civil rights movement. Centered around Dr. Martin Luther King, the wearer is put into the shoes of an African-American man participating in the movement. This is the second year the VR experience has taken place.
Logos Bible Study had a kickoff event on Wednesday. The student leaders welcomed new and returning members with snacks and games. They had an exciting game of trivia questions based on David's life. Later, they split into 2 groups to play charades.
Logos is an on-campus Bible study at Messiah University through ministries, and we follow the induction to study the Bible. And this semester, we'll be studying the life of David using Samuel 1 and 2. Come out and join us for one of our studies.
Students can join Bible studies on Monday from 7 to 8:15 and Tuesday from 8 to 9:15 in the Union Conference Room, or head to Boyer 102 on Wednesday nights from 7 to 8:15 to check out Logos.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be back to see what's coming up this week and how students like to spend their time in all of that snow.
Keep it right here on YBTV.
My name is Nathan Sims. I'm a junior at Messiah, and I'm a double major in both film and media arts and Spanish. I grew up making films as a kid. I saw that Messiah had a film program, and so when I visited, I just thought this is the perfect fit. Both the theory and practical considerations here have really increased my skill set, not just in a technical sense, but also from a theoretical perspective as well. I think the biggest piece that I'll add to my portfolio before I graduate is the final film for the junior and senior film project. That'll probably be my crowning achievement because I'm working with so many other artists and other film majors, and it's just been a really great opportunity so far. I think I'm most excited to use skills I've learned in documentary class. I have to make ethical decisions in every step of the process to really come up with a strong and truthful way to tell someone else's story. I think my professors have done a really great job of being strong examples for what combining your faith and your ethics with an art form like film, what that looks like. And so the interactions have almost always been positive because they're really invested in what their students are learning. One of my most valuable experiences was my internship, where I was able to actually apply what I learned in the classroom to the real world, and I think that's a completely invaluable experience. Personally, I did my internship with the Department of Natural Resources in Maryland. One of my favorite experiences at Messiah so far has actually been the Splice Film Festival, which allows students to submit their own personal work, and being able to share the art that I created as well as my fellow classmates was absolutely beautiful. I think the market right now is very open for film and media arts majors. There's a lot of different ways that you can plug in, both at nonprofits, at regular organizations. I worked in the government, and so I think there are absolutely a lot of opportunities.
You're watching YBTV live on YouTube. Check out our channel after the show for more great content from Messiah University.
It should be fun. I love s'mores.
Me too, especially on a campfire.
The best.
Golden brown.
You're watching YBTV.
Welcome back to Falcon Update live on YBTV. There's a lot going on at Messiah this week, so let's go to Reed Milliken for the campus calendar.
Welcome back to this week's campus calendar. I'm Reed Milliken. As always, there are tons of fun activities to look forward to in the upcoming week. And don't forget that there are plenty of fitness classes in the Falcon Fitness Center and plenty of campus ministry opportunities all week long. Fall of the Life of David at the Logos Bible Study held on Mondays and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. On Tuesday, the Women of Color Support Group will be meeting in the MCC room on the second floor of Union from 4 to 5 p.m. Be a part of a group that helps empower women of color and offers a safe space for discussion. Also on Tuesday, come to Union from 7 to 9 p.m. to attend Service and Snow Cones, your chance to learn about spring semester service opportunities. This is put on by the Agape Student Center. Join the Order of the Falcon on Wednesday to learn how to play the popular game Warhammer Underworlds and meet other tabletop game enthusiasts from 6:15 to 10 p.m. Also on Wednesday, SAB presents the Demo Expo, an opportunity for student musicians to come out and network, collaborate, and brainstorm with other artists from 7 to 9 p.m. in the Jordan Atrium. On Thursday, check out the new panel series, Explore, a conversation about. The first session this week will focus on the Bible and feature student panelists as they seek to explore various viewpoints on Scripture and theology. Check it out in Fray 110 from 7 to 8 p.m. If you're interested in the city trip to Washington, D.C. from March 23rd to March 25th, attend the informational meeting held in Palmer Cinema on Thursday from 12:15 to 1:15 p.m. Free pizza will be served. On Friday from 12:15 to 1:15, the CPDC is hosting this semester's first Pizza with Professionals with U.S., PA, and West Shores Chamber of Commerce. Come learn about labor trends, salary projections, and economic career issues in Palmer Cinema. Take a break from all that schoolwork and attend Game Night hosted by the Messiah Games Association. On Friday from 7 to 10 p.m., you can play any game you'd like in the Larson 237 conference room. Board games, card games, VR, and D&D one-shots will be present and available. On Friday night at 8 p.m., SAB Lost Films will be showing Pig, a film about a truffle hunter played by Nicolas Cage who lives alone in the Oregon wilderness and must return to his past in search of his beloved foraging pig after she's kidnapped. If you can't make the Friday show, no sweat, as there will also be showings on Saturday at 4 and 8 p.m. Also on Saturday, to polish off the week, check out the Midtown Excursion presented by SAB. 18 students can visit the Broad Street Market in Harrisburg, as well as a nearby bookstore, Midtown Scholar, where students will be able to purchase up to $30 worth of books paid for by SAB. The excursion will last approximately 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and only cost $5. Sign-ups will be available this Thursday. That's all for this week's campus calendar. I'm Reed Milliken.
Thanks, Reed. If you're like me and you have a face for radio, then there's an opportunity on campus just for you. For this week's Bird's Eye View, I checked out the campus radio station, 90.7 Pulse Radio. Let's take a look. Welcome to YBTV's Bird's Eye View. I'm Nolan Hogenboom, reporting for YBTV, but today I'll also be doing a radio show right here on 90.7 Pulse Radio. Come on in. first thing you got to do before you do a radio show is, because we need the, FCC to keep an eye on us a little bit, we need to fill out this operations log to make sure that everything with the transmitter is running smoothly. You're listening to WVMM Grantham Mechanicsburg 90.7 Pulse Radio. I'm Nolan Hogenboom. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Thursday afternoon out there. We got a lot of great music coming up for you in the next hour. Kicking things off here with Franz Ferdinand, 90.7 Pulse Radio. Enjoy. The other thing you need to do during your show is keep track of every song that you play so that the station has a record of what was in your playlist that they can then report to national charting companies. There are also certain things that you need to say during your show. At the top of the hour, you have to include your legal ID, which identifies the station. You're listening to WVMM Grantham Mechanicsburg 90.7 Pulse Radio. Then you've got to give the weather, because everybody driving in their cars on the way home from school wants to know what the roads are like. Anybody at Messiah can have a radio show. The board's not that hard to learn. I managed to do it. If you have music that you think the world should hear, feel free to email pulseradio@messiah.edu to learn more about the opportunities available here. That was a lot of fun. I really love having a radio show here on 90.7 Pulse Radio. And for YBTV, this has been Bird's Eye View. I'm Nolan Hogenboom.
Thanks, Nolan. That was almost as cool as the temperatures this upcoming week.
Almost.
Let's go to Josh McLeaf for the Falcon forecast.
It's time to check out this week's Falcon forecast. I'm Josh McLeaf. We're still in the dead of winter here at Messiah, and if you can't tell, then these temperatures should give it away. We're currently at 31 right now on the campus of Messiah, and we can expect it to drop down to 30 as we move into the evening. Now, tomorrow will be slightly warmer as the sun starts to poke its head out, and it will bring a high of 35 and a low of 17. Wednesday will be mostly sunny, but it will also be a bit chillier with a high of 24 and an expected low of 9 degrees. The sun will stay out on Thursday and it will be slightly warmer, but still below freezing with a high of 30 and a low of 23. And then Friday will be mostly cloudy and just above freezing with a high of 33. But it could also hit a low of 21 as we move into the weekend, which will bring some cooler temperatures for us as well. Although it's going to be mostly sunny all weekend, the high on Saturday is going to be 24 degrees with a low of 14. And on Sunday, we'll finish off the week with a high of 28 and a low of 22. So this week, make sure you bundle up and stay warm, but it looks like we're going to share some more mild temperatures next week if all goes well. For now, stay warm, Falcons. I'm Josh McLeaf, sending it back to PJ and Nolan.
Thanks, Josh. Speaking of weather, let's see what students like to do in all of that snow outside. It's Riley Williams with Falcon on the Street.
I'm this week's Falcon on the Street reporter, Riley Williams, and today we're asking people what their favorite snow activity is.
My favorite activity in the snow, oddly enough, is to play basketball.
I just like to stay inside and just cuddle up with a nice blanket and just watch movies all day.
Definitely sledding.
My favorite snow activity is sleeping.
So my favorite snow time activity would 100% be building snowmen.
My snow activity that I like to do is staying inside and watching the snowfall and watching TV.
I like making snow angels.
I just really like taking a walk in the snow when it's like falling nicely.
Snowman making.
I would say sledding. I really like to sled.
That's all for this week's episode of Falcon on the Street. For YBTV, I'm Riley Williams.
Thanks, Riley. Next, we'll see what's happening in Messiah Athletics.
Stay tuned for more Falcon Update after the break.
The nursing program at Messiah College prepared me in multiple ways. It really just helped me grow in my faith, first of all, but also in my vocation. I have found that adjusting to the work environment has been easier, and I feel that it was very much to do with Messiah College's nursing program.
The simulation labs here at Messiah, the ones that we used as students, are very comparable to the local hospitals.
My first job offer was here during a shadowing experience through the college. I interviewed and I pretty much got the job offer right there.
What I really like about Messiah students is that they look at nursing as a profession and a career, and they tend to do very, very well.
The fact that we are CCNE accredited says that we are engaged in effective educational practices. This means that the student who comes to Messiah College can be assured of receiving the highest quality nursing education and that their degree will be recognized by top healthcare organizations and graduate programs.
A lot of the relationships that I have with my classmates are very, very special. Nursing can be challenging, and so it's very nice to have friends that know what you're going through. One thing at Messiah College, which is really great, is how the Christian faith is brought into almost every part of your college career. In a lot of the classes, you have sometimes a devotional, or it's integrated into the course curriculum somehow.
The faculty at Messiah cared for me as a learner and as a person. They poured time and energy into me and supported me in my troubles and shared in my successes.
Come visit, set up a time where you can meet up with a professor, sit in on a class. It's a great way to see what Messiah College is all about and just an overall amazing experience.
You're watching Falcon Update live on Messiah University's Yellow Breeches Television.
Welcome back to Falcon Update live on YBTV.
Messiah women's basketball extended their current win streak to 8 games and reached some more big milestones this week. With a win over Hood College on Wednesday, head coach Mike Miller earned his 700th career victory, making him just the 4th coach in Division III history to reach the mark. The Falcons then finished the week with a dominant 77-37 win over Eastern University on Sunday, making for Messiah's largest margin of victory this season. The Falcons are 14-2 on the season and travel to Albright on Wednesday.
Messiah's men's basketball snapped a 3-game losing streak in dramatic fashion on Saturday night. The Falcons played host to the Eastern University Eagles, who sat in first place in the MAC Commonwealth. The Falcons led by 4 at the half and would go on to pull off the upset, defeating Eastern 83-73, thanks in part to a 22-point performance from Tyler Penley. The Falcons look to carry their momentum in Wednesday's matchup versus Albright.
Messiah had a strong showing at the Wrestling MAC Championships as 2 Falcons won individual titles. Messiah's Nick Barnhart claimed the championship in the 157-pound class, and Carter Urich won the title at 285. Overall, the Falcons as a team finished in 2nd place with 114 points. On the season, the Falcons own a 6-7 record, with their next competition being the Wheaton Invitational this upcoming weekend.
On Saturday, the Messiah women's swim team faced off against York College and Millersville University. The Falcons stood strong against York, defeating the Spartans 191-58, but would fall to Millersville 136.5 to 119.5. The women's team has an 8-2 record after the weekend's action, and they'll host Albright and Misericordia next weekend.
Messiah's men's swim team also took on York College on Saturday, but unfortunately fell by a final of 160-96. Despite the loss, the Falcons' PJ Cronauer broke the program record in the 1,000-yard freestyle with a time of 10 minutes, 6 seconds, and 13 milliseconds. His record-breaking performance was one of 3 events he won for the Falcons on Saturday. The Falcons dropped to a 4-5 record overall on the season as they look to host Albright and Misericordia next weekend.
Speaking of records, another program record fell this weekend for Messiah's indoor track team at the Alvernia Winter Invite. Esther Sealand broke the previous record time in the 3,000-meter event with a time of 9 minutes, 54 seconds, and 15 milliseconds, en route to a victory in the event. The Falcons men's team placed first in the 3,000-meter contest as well, courtesy of a winning performance from Noah Callisti. After a strong opening to the new year, the Falcons will travel to Franklin and Marshall College this Friday.
Messiah's men's volleyball team kicked off their season as the number 6 seed in the nation this past week. They opened the season with a 3-0 loss against Marymount, but earned a 3-0 win in their next game against Mount Union. In their last game, they fell 1-3 to Southern Virginia, bringing their early season record to 1-2. The Falcons' next game will be their home opener as they host Penn State Altoona.
That's it for this week's Falcon Update. For Nolan Hogenboom, myself, and our other fantastic reporters, thanks for tuning in and stay tuned for YB Tonight.
What?
We don't want our students to feel like they have to wait until they've graduated to start serving and meeting the needs of society. So we want students to have an opportunity to work on projects that meet real needs even while they're students in the program. Messiah students are exciting to work with because they understand that God has uniquely gifted them to do something, and they're excited to follow Him in that and to follow Him in their careers.
One of my best moments as a student here at Messiah was when I was traveling to Mexico with a collaboratory.
The collaboratory's business model is that it pairs student teams with either faculty mentors or outside professionals to work on systems that either care for the earth or help disadvantaged people around the world.
I learned so many amazing things about just cultural differences and how to adapt and work alongside, not just how to help someone else, but how to empower them to further their lives and also advance my academics in the process. So that is by far one of my favorite memories from Messiah.
Forests bring people together, feed the soul, and improve our well-being, cleaning the water we need, the air we breathe, and making our climate livable. Fires and natural disasters devastate our forests each year. That's why the Arbor Day Foundation is working to replant millions of trees across the country. Visit arborday.org and see how you can help.
It's a big responsibility.
Oh, it's huge. I know, it's huge.
And the salary.
Oh my god, yes.
Right?
I mean, like, I was about to move in with my parents, and right before, yeah, so this saved me.
I really believe in you, you know?
Thank you. It's nice to hear that from someone.
These are cool. Did you, what did
Every undergraduate engineering major at Messiah has a minimum 4-semester built-in internship in the program. So they're able to transition from the classroom learning environment to a project-based learning environment where they're being peer mentored, and they're also being mentored by professionals that serve as player coaches on their team.
The collaboratory's business model is that it pairs student teams with either faculty mentors or outside professionals to work on systems that either care for the earth or help disadvantaged people around the world.
On the African continent, over 30% of hand pumps at any one time are non-functional. This seems like the kind of problem that Jesus would care about, and I'm excited to be part of the Better Pumps team, working with Emma Workman, the student project manager.
Better Pumps is a project working to sustain a reliable water infrastructure for the users of hand pumps, specifically in Africa. We are testing the new bearings and the new seals specifically in the hand pumps to see if they will outlast the old design. I knew that I wanted to come to a Christian college to continue to grow in my faith. I love just having the opportunity to have relationships with my professors and stop in their office in the afternoon and just catch up about life.
From Messiah University in Grantham, Pennsylvania, here's your host, Marie Miller.
Good evening, Messiah. Welcome to this semester's first episode of YB Tonight. I'm your host, Marie Miller. Tonight, we'll have a musical performance by the one and only Sarah Hartway, followed by an interview with Messiah's Title IX coordinator, Hannah McBride. This is a show you won't want to miss. Stay tuned.
The nursing program at Messiah College prepared me in multiple ways. It really just helped me grow in my faith, first of all, but also in my vocation. I have found that adjusting to the work environment has been easier, and I feel that it was very much to do with Messiah College's nursing program.
The simulation labs here at Messiah, the ones that we used as students, are very comparable to the local hospitals.
My first job offer was here during a shadowing experience through the college. I interviewed and I pretty much got the job offer right there.
What I really like about Messiah students is that they look at nursing as a profession and a career, and they tend to do very, very well.
The fact that we are CCNE accredited says that we are engaged in effective educational practices. This means that the student who comes to Messiah College can be assured of receiving the highest quality nursing education and that their degree will be recognized by top healthcare organizations and graduate programs.
A lot of the relationships that I have with my classmates are very, very special. Nursing can be challenging, and so it's very nice to have friends that know what you're going through. One thing at Messiah College which is really great is how the Christian faith is brought into almost every part of your college career. In a lot of the classes, you have sometimes a devotional or it's integrated into the course curriculum somehow.
The faculty at Messiah cared for me as a learner and as a person. They poured time and energy into me and supported me in my troubles and shared in my successes.
Come visit, set up a time where you can meet up with a professor, sit in on a class. It's a great way to see what Messiah College is all about and just an overall amazing experience.
You're watching Falcon Update live on Messiah University's Yellow Breeches Television.
Welcome back to YB Tonight. I'm your host, Marie Miller. Without further ado, let's welcome Sarah Hartway.
Come come, sit at your feet, to sit at the fountain and dine with the highest King. Oh, to know just what's on your mind, the secrets of heaven I'll learn, I'll live to find. So hide me deep inside your heart, Lord, cover me with your wings, bring me into safety, bring me into fellowship with who you are, Lord, Father, Son, and Spirit. This is all I long for. Oh, I come to have communion with the King, to sit at the table and dine with the highest priest. Oh, to know just what's on your mind, the secrets of heaven I'll live to search to find. So hide me deep inside your heart, Lord, cover me with your wings, bring me into safety, bring me into fellowship with who you are, Lord, Father, Son, and Spirit. This is all I long for, to be in your midst, be in your midst. This my heart's desire, to know you and be known, to know you and be known. This my heart's desire, to know you and be known, to know you and be known. This my heart's desire, to know you and be known, to know you and be known by you, Jesus. This my heart's desire, to know you and be known, to know you and be known by you, Jesus. So hide me deep inside your heart, Lord, cover me with your wings, bring me into safety, bring me into fellowship with who you are, Lord, Father, Son, and Spirit. This is all I long for, to be in your midst, to be in your midst, to be in your midst, be in your I know the tension of the now, I don't always get to see, I don't always understand everything. When I'm holding up my hands and I'm counting every breath, Lord, all I need to know is you choose me. You choose me. I'll praise before my breakthrough, till my song becomes my triumph. I'll sing because
so much. And after the break, we'll sit down with Sarah to talk about all things music. And then we have Hannah McBride here to talk about her job as Title IX worker. Don't go anywhere.
And improve our well-being, cleaning the water we need, the air we breathe, and making our climate livable. Fires and natural disasters devastate our forests each year. That's why the Arbor Day Foundation is working to replant millions of trees across the country. Visit arborday.org and see how you can help.
The new athletic training curriculum at Messiah College is a 5-year accelerated program that results in completion of a bachelor's in applied health science with a concentration in pre-athletic training and a master's of science in athletic training.
When I was introduced to the athletic training program at Messiah, I knew right away that it was going to be the right fit for me. There was just so much support and so much interest in me as an individual, and that community was really something special.
I think a student should be interested in studying this program, particularly at Messiah, largely because of the people that we have. Students are going to formally participate in case studies and case reviews, and there's also opportunities for collaboration with the faculty.
My friendship with the program director, Dr. Matt Lewis, has supported my journey as a Christian, as an athletic trainer, and as a scientist.
We are passionate about our students, and we're also passionate about the profession of athletic training.
C77 is now officially rebranded as Yellow Breeches TV.
You're watching YBTV.
Welcome back to YB Tonight. I'm your host, Marie Miller. We've got Sarah Hartway here to talk a little more about music. How are you doing, Sarah?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. When did you first get into performing?
Well, my mother started me playing piano when I was 3, and then I think I started taking it seriously when I was 12. At 16, I was in charge of creating a band for our youth group, and then I started leading worship at 16 for our main church services.
Very nice. So it's been a part of your life for a really long time, but what's your favorite part of performing?
Well, I used to do musical theater when I was a kid from up until I graduated high school, so I think my favorite part of that was just seeing the final product of weeks and weeks and months and no homework and no sleep going into something that everyone can praise later.
Have you ever or would you ever perform professionally?
I would love to. My brother's actually a musical theater major at Montclair University, New Jersey, so that's his dream. So if I can do it too, I would love to. I am a worship leader at my church, so.
Very nice. I guess that's
yeah.
kind of professional, right? Do you play any instruments other than keyboard, and if so, what instruments?
Well, I played the flute from 4th grade up until 12th grade, and I play guitar, but not very well, so don't ask me to do that.
Is that it?
That for now. That's it for now.
Very nice. And you want to expand, right?
I would love to.
Very nice. And one last question for you tonight. What advice would you give to people just starting out in music, and what would you tell them?
I would tell them to not think about what you sound like now, because at the beginning, none of us sound good. It's about putting the time in, it's about finding your passion, finding what you love about music, and if that's switching an instrument or switching everything you're doing, that's going to work. It's finding what you enjoy and being able to put the time in for that.
Very nice. And I hope anybody out there that's hearing that takes it seriously. And once again, this is Sarah Hartway, so don't go anywhere. We will hear from Hannah McBride about her job on campus after the break. You won't want to miss it.
The nursing program at Messiah College prepared me in multiple ways. It really just helped me grow in my faith, first of all, but also in my vocation. I have found that adjusting to the work environment has been easier, and I feel that it was very much to do with Messiah College's nursing program.
The simulation labs here at Messiah, the ones that we used as students, are very comparable to the local hospitals.
My first job offer was here during a shadowing experience through the college. I interviewed and I pretty much got the job offer right there.
What I really like about Messiah students is that they look at nursing as a profession and a career, and they tend to do very, very well.
The fact that we are CCNE accredited says that we are engaged in effective educational practices. This means that the student who comes to Messiah College can be assured of receiving the highest quality nursing education and that their degree will be recognized by top healthcare organizations and graduate programs.
A lot of the relationships that I have with my classmates are very, very special. Nursing can be challenging, and so it's very nice to have friends that know what you're going through. One thing at Messiah College which is really great is how the Christian faith is brought into almost every part of your college career. In a lot of the classes, you have sometimes a devotional or it's integrated into the course curriculum somehow.
The faculty at Messiah cared for me as a learner and as a person. They poured time and energy into me and supported me in my troubles and shared in my successes.
Come visit, set up a time where you can meet up with a professor, sit in on a class. It's a great way to see what Messiah College is all about and just an overall amazing experience.
You're watching Falcon Update live on Messiah University's Yellow Breeches Television.
Welcome back to YB Tonight. I'm your host, Marie Miller. We've got Hannah McBride here to tell us a little more about what she does here on campus. How are you doing, Hannah?
Well, thanks, Marie. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on. Can you tell us a little more about what exactly your job is on campus? Like just starting off hot with that question.
Yes. I often say my job title is the worst way to start, but I will start with that. So my title is officially the Coordinator for Interpersonal Violence, Prevention, Education, and Response.
Okay.
What that means is that I do 3 different branches of work on campus. The first is with policy, the second is with education and training, and then the third is an individual support for students who have experienced or have been accused of something harmful, whether that's abuse or maybe sometimes like manipulation, anything harmful in a relationship or an experience.
Okay.
So cheerful.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. It sounds like a thrill. And I know you work very closely with Title IX. What do you feel that students should be able to know?
About Title IX
Yes.
specifically?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Title IX is one of the pieces of legislation that we follow as an institution of higher education to make sure students are aware of their rights and their options in case something happens or goes wrong in a relationship. So when I think about Title IX, I want students to be aware that they're in control of a process. And I think a lot of times what shows up on the news makes it seem like there isn't a process for students to follow, or it can be really hard to know you can report something and get help even if you don't want it to become an investigation, for example, if you just want to share and get support. I think often it feels intimidating to do that, or you're not sure that that's a possibility, depending on your circumstances. Title IX gives a lot of options for students and makes sure they stay in control. So I would love for students to know that.
Mm-hmm. And they reach out to you to start that process?
They do,
Okay.
or sometimes, probably every week, one of the ways I get connected with students is through someone else the student is close to.
Mm-hmm.
So a student might disclose that they had a bad experience on a date, or that they're experiencing something that feels like stalking. They might connect with a faculty member or a coach, a roommate or an RD, and then that person reaches out to me and says, I think this student could use some help or some support. and then I get in touch with the student.
All right. What kind of tasks do you perform at your job on a daily basis?
On a daily basis, I am always having a meeting of some kind with a student, whether that's a first time meeting someone to give them their options or to talk through a process and what they've chosen for a next step. Almost always I'm meeting with a student that I'm in further conversation with. Sometimes I mentor students around their relationships if they want help learning how to set boundaries or maybe pursuing a different pattern in their relationships. So always student meetings. And then I'm often doing some kind of writing or presentation preparation. I do a lot of our education and training for our compliance around Title IX and then other pieces of legislation on campus. So I work closely with compliance. I also sit on a few different committees on campus, no surprise at Messiah. So I work closely with our Gender Concerns Committee and our Inclusive Excellence Council, which are two of my favorite places to be involved, as well as SAGE, our Sexuality and Gender Education Initiative.
And how did you come into this role on campus?
Great question. Through the back door. I never set out to be involved in sexual violence prevention and education work, but I had a lot of experience working at a former institution, just being connected and supporting students. I got more and more involved in the policy work. And Messiah was granted actually a grant from the Department of Justice about 6 years ago now. It was a massive grant for campuses across the United States and its territories to better respond to sexual violence, to stalking, to abusive relationships. And Messiah was the first Christian university to apply for and receive that grant. Under that grant, they were required to hire somebody to run it and to run the programming. And that's how I got connected to Messiah. Someone referred me to the job and I interviewed and it was a good fit.
Well, we're very glad to have you here. I know you mentioned it a little bit with your meetings with students, but what kind of things do you do with students on campus?
Yeah, great question. It's actually one of my favorite parts of my job because I'm highly introverted and I also really love connecting with people. So it gives me a reason to connect with people in a really deep way right away. Skip the small talk, and we're usually talking about what can be helpful or supportive for a student to know or to choose in that moment. A lot of times I'm meeting students not on their best days, sometimes their worst days. And I meet with both students that are reporting and students that have been reported. And sometimes that can be confusing to people. As a confidential resource, similar to a counselor, I meet with both. And the first thing I'm always doing is providing options and saying, here's what's available to you. Essentially, here are the things you already pay for as a college student. Does any of this sound like it would be helpful for you? Do you want to change class sections? Do you want to change parking or housing assignments? Would it be helpful for you to pursue a mediation model? Do you need a no contact order? Is there an off-campus resource that you need for medical or mental health reasons? There's a whole slew of things. Sometimes that ends up in an investigation process. Sometimes it means we work with the police. Sometimes it means we meet once and we choose ways to support that don't look like that at all.
What would you recommend for people possibly looking to get into this sort of career?
I would actually recommend doing some research about jobs that are open that include words like Title IX, inclusivity, gender equity, because the landscape of this field is changing dramatically and very quickly. Every time there's a new presidential administration, Title IX is essentially rewritten. A lot of people don't know that, so I think every 4 years or so, there's a shift for institutions to rework their process, and that often means hiring in a different way. So I would suggest to do some research about jobs that are available and then find someone to sit down and interview or talk through what does it mean, what does this look like, what are the challenges.
All right, and to wrap this up, could you tell everyone how they can reach you if they have further questions or they just want to talk?
Happily. My email address is one of the easiest ways to get a hold of me. That's hmcbride@messiah.edu. I do have an office extension for people who love talking on the phone. That's extension 2608 on campus. And I'm located in Old Main on the first floor, so you're always welcome to stop by or set up an appointment. I'm always happy to get coffee, or you can come meet in my office.
Very nice, and thank you for coming on the show again.
Thank you.
And thanks again for tuning in to YB Tonight. A huge thank you to Sarah Hartway for her lovely performance and interview with Hannah McBride for sitting down with us. For myself and all our reporters, have a great night, and we'll see you next week.